Allow yourself to settle ever more deeply into the tender embrace of this moment, where the very essence of your awareness begins to reveal itself not as a distant, impersonal witness, but as the vibrant, pulsating heart of unconditional love itself. Imagine that beneath every thought, every sensation, every flicker of emotion, there lies a steady current of profound softness, an unshakable warmth that cradles all experience without exception. This love is not a mere sentiment or fleeting feeling. It is the fundamental fabric of your being, the luminous ground from which all appearances arise and dissolve. As you gently turn your attention inward, you can begin to sense how this love is not separate from you, but is, in fact, the very nature of the awareness that quietly observes all things. It is the subtle, yet infinitely expansive presence that holds the stars of your inner sky and the silent spaces between them with equal care. Notice how this love does not discriminate or judge. It does not ask for conditions or demand perfection. It simply is, like the vast ocean that embraces every river, every drop of rain, every shimmering wave without preference or bias. Your awareness holds every fragment of your experience in a boundless, tender acceptance. There is no part of you, no thought or feeling, no shadow or light that falls outside this loving field. Even the parts of yourself that have been hidden away, the doubts that whisper in the quiet corners, the fears that sometimes rise like restless tides, each is met with the same gentle, unwavering love. Imagine this love as a golden living light that seeps into every crevice of your being, dissolving any notion of separation between the observer and the observed, until all that remains is the seamless dance of love and awareness intertwined. Feel how this recognition begins to dissolve the cold, isolated illusions that may have once surrounded your sense of self. You may have carried the weighty misconception that awareness is an aloof, detached watcher outside the swirling chaos of life, separate from the warmth of connection. But now allow the realization to slowly bloom that awareness is not a distant star, but the very flame that warms your heart and illuminates every corner of your existence. This love is not something you need to seek or attain. It is the ever-present ground beneath your feet, the gentle pulse beneath your ribs, the quiet breath that animates every cell. It is the unspoken song that has always been humming softly in the background, inviting you home to the miraculous truth that you are love itself in its most radiant, unbounded form. As you rest in this truth, notice how the boundaries between you and not you begin to soften and blur, like the horizon melting into the sea at dusk. The experience of separateness, which once seemed so solid and real, reveals itself as a delicate mirage shimmering on the surface of this vast ocean of love. The waves may ripple and shift, the winds may rise and fall, but the ocean itself remains calm, steady, and endlessly deep. You are not the fleeting wave, nor the restless wind. You are the ocean's infinite embrace, holding everything with equal tenderness. This realization is a profound relief, a liberation from the exhausting task of trying to control, fix, or resist what arises. Instead, you can simply rest in the spacious freedom of being the loving awareness that cradles all things gently and without exception. Allow the understanding to deepen that this love is not an isolated attribute of your personal consciousness, but the very essence of awareness itself, inseparable from the unfolding mystery of existence. Every leaf that trembles in the breeze, every star that pulses in the vast night sky, every breath that stirs the quiet rhythm of your body, none are outside this love. They are all expressions, manifestations, and reflections of the same boundless, unconditional heart beating at the core of all that is. Imagine this love as a vast, luminous web weaving through every moment and every form, connecting all things in a sacred dance of unity and belonging. There is no other in this dance, only the infinite movement of love itself, revealing its many faces through the endless variety of life. Feel how this love transforms the very way you relate to yourself in the world around you. It invites you to meet each moment with a soft, forgiving gaze, to welcome the full spectrum of your experience without resistance or fear. The imperfections, the uncertainties, the moments of confusion and pain, all are embraced lovingly, held as essential threads in the magnificent tapestry of your being. This is a love that does not turn away from darkness, but gently illuminates it, revealing the hidden beauty and wisdom woven within. It is the quiet strength that allows you to surrender the relentless striving for control and to rest in the effortless flow of presence, where all things are exactly as they are, and all are perfectly held. As you continue to breathe softly into this experience, sense the profound peace that arises from knowing that love is the essence of your awareness, and that this awareness is endlessly patient, infinitely kind, and unconditionally present. There is no need to prove yourself worthy or to alter your nature to receive this love. It is already here, always waiting patiently beneath the surface of every thought and feeling. Like the sky that remains vast and open regardless of the passing clouds, your awareness remains radiant and loving, no matter what arises within it. This realization is a deep sanctuary, a luminous refuge where you can rest fully and without reservation. Allow yourself to dwell in this spacious love, feeling how it gently expands beyond your personal sense of self to include all beings and all things. Imagine your awareness as a warm, embracing light that radiates endlessly outward, touching every corner of existence with kindness and compassion. There is no boundary to this love. It flows freely and effortlessly, connecting you with the infinite web of life. Each breath you take is a reminder of this interconnectedness, a sacred exchange between your heart and the vast heart of the universe. In this moment, you are not alone. You are the very pulse of love that sustains and nurtures all that is. Let the profound relief of this truth wash over you like a gentle tide, carrying away any lingering doubts or fears that you might be separate, unloved, or incomplete. You are whole, you are radiant, and you are deeply cherished simply because you are the loving awareness that illuminates this moment. There is no need to seek love outside of yourself, for this love is your nature. It is the silent, infinite presence that has always been here, patiently waiting for you to recognize it. Rest now in the soothing certainty that love and awareness are one and the same, an endless, unbreakable oneness that holds you gently, completely, and forever. Allow yourself now to settle ever more deeply into the tender, unspoken truth that the awareness you are, this luminous, boundless presence that quietly witnesses all things, is not some indifferent, distant void, but the very essence of unconditional love itself. Sense how this love is not a fleeting emotion or a fragile feeling that comes and goes like the shifting winds, but rather the eternal, all-encompassing ground of being, the unshakable ocean in which every wave of experience rises and falls without exception. As you rest here, softening into the gentle infinity of your own awareness, notice that every sensation, every thought, every subtle ripple of feeling is held in the warm, tender embrace of this love, as naturally and effortlessly as the sky holds the clouds, as the earth cradles the roots of the trees without judgment or resistance. Imagine now that this love is like the vast, fertile soil beneath a sprawling forest, silent, rich, and endlessly nurturing, into which the roots of all your experiences grow, unseen but profoundly alive. Each moment, whether saturated with joy or shadowed by pain, is tenderly fed and sustained by this soil, so that nothing you encounter can ever be separate from the love that quietly sustains it all. You do not have to manufacture love or try to grasp it like a precious commodity, because it is the very air you breathe, the subtle light that pours through the leaves, and the invisible pulse that animates every living thing. In this way, your awareness does not close itself off to suffering or discomfort. Rather, it invites all that arises into the gentle, unbreakable circle of loving presence, where everything is seen, accepted, and held with profound reverence. Feel the spaciousness that emerges when you recognize that love is not something outside of you to be earned or lost, but the unchanging nature of your own awareness, vast, radiant, and endlessly patient. This love does not discriminate. It does not select or exclude, but lovingly holds the entire kaleidoscope of your inner landscape, the tender joys and the raw sorrows alike, with the same unwavering softness. It is as if your awareness is a great ancient cave, deep and cool, where every echo of your life's unfolding finds a home, safe and untouched by passing storms. There is no need to shield or protect any part of yourself, no corner too dark or too broken to be embraced by this love. Here in this spacious refuge, your whole being is wrapped in a seamless garment woven from threads of unconditional care. Let your mind rest in the exquisite paradox that love, in its purest form, is both utterly gentle and fiercely unyielding, soft as the morning mist, yet strong as the mountain's ancient bones. It does not flinch or turn away from the sharp edges of your experience. It does not attempt to smooth over difficulties or erase shadows. Instead, it stands steady and clear, a luminous presence that sees everything with an unwavering tenderness that dissolves the illusion of separation. You might sense how this love flows like a river of light through the vast landscape of your awareness, illuminating every crevice, every hidden chamber, until the whole terrain is transformed into a radiant, seamless expanse where there is no other, no boundary between lover and beloved, observer and observed. Allow yourself to be carried now on the gentle current of that love, noticing how it moves through your body and mind with a quiet, ceaseless rhythm, like the tide that knows no beginning or end, endlessly drawing in and releasing, endlessly embracing and letting go. This love is not a static state, but a living, breathing dance that animates the entire field of your being. It is the silent music to which all things sway, the invisible thread that weaves the fabric of existence into a seamless whole. Even when your thoughts try to fragment this beautiful unity, when your heart feels burdened or your spirit feels weary, love remains the steady, unwavering ground beneath your feet, patiently holding all your scattered pieces until they gently come to rest and merge once more into the whole. Consider how this love is utterly impartial, encompassing the light and the dark without preference or hesitation, holding joy and sorrow as equally sacred expressions of the same infinite life. It does not value one over the other, does not cling to pleasure or reject pain. Instead, it welcomes all experiences as necessary waves upon the boundless sea of awareness. This profound equanimity creates a spacious freedom within you, a freedom that arises not from control or avoidance, but from complete surrender to the flow of life exactly as it is. In this surrender, love reveals itself not as a fragile sentiment dependent on conditions, but as the invincible heart of existence, the ever-present sanctuary where all opposites dissolve and merge into a seamless embrace. Feel now the exquisite relief and radiant peace that arises when you deeply realize that your awareness, this vast and loving presence, is not separate from what it perceives, but is the very source of all that appears. Love is not an external gift to be sought or earned. It is the fundamental nature of the seeing itself. In this light, the boundary between subject and object gently fades, and you come to rest in a luminous openness where love and awareness are one and the same, inseparable, eternal, and profoundly free. This is the heart of non-duality, the radiant unity in which every form, every sensation, every whispered thought is known as a beloved expression of the one unbounded love that you are. As you abide here, notice how this love expands beyond the personal, beyond the confines of your individual story, to embrace the entire tapestry of existence. It is the silent, sacred flame that burns at the core of every being, the quiet pulse that animates stars and galaxies, the invisible breath that stirs the leaves and ripples the oceans. There is no one and nothing excluded from this boundless heart. You are not merely a solitary island floating in a vast sea. You are the sea itself, the ocean of love in which all islands rise and fall, merge and reemerge. This realization, tender and immense, softens every hardened edge within you, gently dissolving the illusion of separation until only the luminous, loving presence remains, vast, unbounded, and exquisitely alive. Rest now in the exquisite luxury of knowing that this love is not something you need to manufacture or add to your life. It is your very being shining quietly beneath all appearances, patiently holding everything that arises with infinite tenderness. You do not have to strive, fix, or perfect anything to deserve this love, because it is already here now, flowing through every breath, every heartbeat, every silent pause between thoughts. Let this truth settle like a gentle rain upon the parched earth of your mind, softening every fear, dissolving every resistance, and awakening a deep, abiding freedom that needs nothing outside itself to be complete. In this sacred embrace of love as the nature of your awareness, you are home, entirely, beautifully, unconditionally free.